member for Mayo, and I call the member for New England.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. Trevor William Hicks, born in 1966. If you need something in Eden-Monaro, he's the one to get it fixed. What we have now is a great candidate going forward for Eden-Monaro, a National Party candidate, and it exemplifies what we want to present to the people of Eden-Monaro. An automotive electrician, an automotive engineer, a person who's worked with his hands, a person who's had a trade is going to be a great complement to what we have here in this parliament. We have enough solicitors, we have enough white-collar workers. We need somebody who's actually got a trade, who understands business, someone who's been in business for 22 years. I was speaking to a mayor this morning. He said one of the problems in council now is you've got so many people with degrees, and degrees are wonderful things. I've got one myself, but they don't understand business. They don't understand the realities of what it's like to work with your hands, of what it's like to understand the sweat that runs down the back of your collar because you're wondering if you're going to be able to pay the bank manager the wages that week, of understanding how you build a business, of not being a person who's determined by the agenda of somebody else, but a person who determines their own agenda. Now, I know that Trevor Hicks has a vision for Eden-Monaro, the Barton Highway, duplication, driving more business out to Yass, helping those shops in Yass, helping people who are recovering from the drought. He understands his electorate and all the privations that they've had to deal with by reason of the bushfires. Being at the forefront as a deputy mayor, he understands this, and this is why he'd be a great member of parliament in this place and obviously in the other chamber if the good people of Eden-Monaro give him that chance. I might also note that he's a person from the side of the range where the water runs west. He understands Queanbeyan. He understands that Eden-Monaro, on the other hand, needs to develop its deep water port, that this is vital for the economic development of this area. Mr. Trevor William Hicks empathises and understands what's happening in the dairy industry. In my discussions with him, he's talked about making sure he drives for a Royal Commission so that farmers get a fair price. I've known here, Madam Deputy Speaker, that with the advent of the loss of people, such as John Wacker Williams, we have lost people who are basically have got in their previous life their hands dirty and worked for a living in a blue-collar way. And it's reliant on us to make sure that we have in this parliament those type of people. I am not for one second belittling other candidates who might be running this election, but I say with Trevor Hicks, we have something unique, something that's special. I look forward on the weekend working with Trevor Hicks to go to Batlow, to Tumut, where my mother came from, Adelong, Tumbarumba. I know that with the Deputy Premier of New South Wales, John Barilaro, he's absolutely got his shoulder to the wheel on behalf of the people of Queanbeyan. Mr. Trevor Hicks, Captain's Flat, he understands not only the big centres, but he understands the small ones. This is emblematic in the National Party, to reach out to those on the corners, to make sure that these people are not forgotten, to make sure the person at Tumbarumba knows that they've got a champion in Canberra fighting on their behalf for their issues. And a person who's not going to follow the zeitgeist and the instructions and the decrees of the two major parties. We've seen the National Party, as recently as yesterday, standing up on behalf of regional people in the Northern Territory, making sure that they get properly represented, breaking away from following edicts, making sure that this thing is pursued through. The National Party, we pride ourselves that if you wish to cross the floor, you can. Just have a very good reason and tell your colleagues first, and we do. This is why Trevor Hicks, as a person who's run his own business, as a person who's been the Deputy Mayor, as a person who understands the dairy industry, as a person who is at the forefront of understanding and empathising and working with those dealing with the bushfires and the drought, this is why Trevor Hicks is, I believe, most definitely the best candidate to represent the people of Eden-Monaro and to come to Canberra and to make sure that he delivers an outcome for them that takes them forward.